I'm going to screen share again.
Oh, man.
You sound great.
I'm feeling good. Feeling good.
Stick and roll. Stick and roll. Checking audio on the screen share.
We are positive for bat nipples.
All right.
Welcome to Namely 90s. Wow. The podcast that takes you back to the time before smartphones, Google, and Y2K. Join your hosts as they relive the pop culture that shaped a generation and the parts that many people wish they could forget. Listen in to the conversation about how the decade defined those who spent their childhood there and how it shaped them as adults. So, turn down the grunge and dial up the internet. Let's get started. It's time for Namely 90s.
That's right. You're listening to Namely 90s. My name's Andrew. Over there, as usual, is Brandon.
That's me. Oh,
you can find us online at namely90s.com or on Twitter and Instagram at namely90s with a 90s. You can also find the video version of this podcast on YouTube, and that's at namely90s.com/YouTube. We welcome you to the show, and I'm now going to pass it off to Brandon to explain why today is special.
Well, yes. Happy 1 year anniversary extravaganza to you all out there, listeners. This is, as we said last episode, we made it through a full year of podcasting, and for us, that's a special thing because we tend to start things and never seem to get past those first 2 to 3 months.
And I'd like to point out the only reason we've sustained this effort is because you do everything. I just show up. I'm the talent. Not really.
We figured out the success to our success, and also
me never being responsible for actually putting anything together.
And to be fair, I think the fact that I didn't have a job for this past year has really helped. The fact that I've been able to get these done, especially like putting this together for the last week has been like I had to get Rewind done. I turned that around in a day. Like I was still editing stuff from last week's Rewind towards the end of the week. It was my birthday on Monday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. And then I got the COVID shot, so I was kind of whammied for the last day. And
here I decided to commemorate our 1 year of podcasting with a nasty cold. So that's why I sound odd. More odd than usual, that is.
It was tight getting this all done and prepared for today, but we did it. I guess I did it. You showed up, and
I'm excited. It looks like a good program.
Yeah, it's what we're going to do today is for our extravaganza, on top of some fun segments we have planned, and we're going to do our top 10 moments from the past year in the show. And
everyone loves a good clip show. Remember the 90s? They did clip shows every once in a while.
That's what we've got here. These days, when you do a clip show, it means you've jumped the shark. But back in the 90s, that was a very important thing to do. A sign of quality that your show has had enough episodes to afford a clip show.
I mean, the idea is to like bring people on board who've never seen it before or heard it.
Exactly. If you have friends that you haven't shared us with yet, but you're like, I really should. I like these guys. I wish them some success in relative to podcasting. This might be a good episode to bring them in on.
It's like those comedy trailers where like the 5 jokes in the movie are in the trailer. So you're like, oh, I'm intrigued. And you go listen to it and it's really just boring nonsense. It's probably pretty accurate.
That
Sorry.
Probably is. Although I have to say I laughed more than I realized going back through a lot of these clips.
Good times.
Yeah. So we're going to go, we both compiled a list of top 5s, and we're just going to go back and forth starting at number 5. And we're going to kick it off with Andrew's number 5. Do you want to preview this, or do you want to just play it?
Okay. Well, you know what? I think this one is so funny because like the very first word is the topic. So let's just roll right into my number 5 top favorite moment.
They're the bat nipples. This is the movie that introduced bat nipples. On the bat suit, on the George Clooney bat suit, there are indents for his nipples. Like, is he suiting up shirtless in this bat armor, and then he's just like poking through because it is cold with Mr. Freeze around. But there are clear bat nipples. Like, if you just Google, and this is going to ruin your Google search history, but if you just Google bat nipples, the first thing that'll come up
is that with safe search on or off?
Off. And I realized that even you as a veterinarian probably have researched bat nipples at one point, but you should just type that in there and see what you find. I
feel like bat nipples also, if you Google that, could take you to one of those like Chinese black market meat things, and that's literally how we got coronavirus. There's also some sort of an armadillo involved.
It's like
anteater.
It's like pepperoni.
It's like pepperoni. I swear to God, there's an anteater involved in the suspected transmission of COVID.
Yeah, I thought it was a bat.
Yeah, I think so. That's why I made the bat nipples joke. But
that's why you transferred to anteater.
I was entirely unaware of the fact that bat nipples were a thing. So I was very shocked to hear about that.
I'll be honest, I completely forgot about like just the joke of bat nipples, because it did come back up a few other times down the line, because we not only talked about that Batman movie, but the other one had George Clooney, one had Val Kilmer, and I'm pretty sure they both had bat nipples.
Oh gosh, that's too funny. All right. So, as you know, speaking of bat nipples, this is a really smooth segue. We took a lot of BuzzFeed quizzes. We've put together some of the best clips from those BuzzFeed quizzes.
Our friends over at BuzzFeed, they're our friends now, put out a quiz for millennials only. Gen Zers are always like, oh my God, I knew all of these things. So they made a quiz that was actually for millennials that unless you lived through it, you wouldn't know it.
And now we've got a scene of like a bunch of people in khakis. One guy is jumping.
This is an iconic commercial from the 90s. Yep.
I'm going, gotta go Dockers.
Okay, so it's either Gap, Old Navy, or Dockers. It's a Gap commercial.
I scored higher than 51%. I got 12 out of 25. That's really terrible.
That's not bad. That's 7 less than I did. Okay, so this one is called Which Sex and the City character are you actually?
Okay, this is fun. I like this. I'm going to go with Lexi. Was it Featherstone? Featherston? Yeah, that sounds funny.
Saucy. You got Samantha.
Oh, no.
You either live your inner Samantha out loud or took this quiz to find out that you definitely are a total Samantha. Get out there and show the world what you've got.
So it's called Only People Born After... what was it called?
Only someone born after 1993 will get 10 or more right on this celebrity quiz. What was Zendaya's character in the Disney Channel sitcom Shake It Up? Now, Zendaya, for the people... I think I'm saying it wrong. Zendaya is the girl that plays MJ in the new Spider-Man movies, for people that aren't.
I have no clue. The choices are CeCe Jones, Rocky Blue, Tinka Hessenheffer, and Ty Blue. The first comment says, I was born in 1822 and got all these correct.
I know we're running long, but I thought we should just do a little quick answer 6 questions, and we'll tell you which badass Game of Thrones lady you are on BuzzFeed.
All right. I'm going Red Keep.
All right.
I like the style.
Yes, I win. I beat you. I beat you. I got Daenerys Targaryen. Daenerys, the mother of dragons, I believe. You are a natural born leader.
I got an old
when
lady.
You have
Olenna Tyrell. I really have not watched that show.
Me neither. But I got Khaleesi, so I know that's good.
I'm in there. All right. So we are going to figure out which Friends character we are. Question number 1. Pick a color. Well, I'm green all the way, so I'm going green.
Oh, suck it. You got Joey then.
Yeah, how you doing?
Wow.
Who'd you get?
Well, why don't you guess?
Phoebe.
Okay. I got Chandler. Well done. You're a funny one with a heart of gold. Do you want to talk about some random movies, or do you want to take a BuzzFeed quiz?
Will the BuzzFeed quiz be fun for people?
Yes. It's called Build a Sandwich and Find Out Which Saved by the Bell character you are. It's better if it's just a bagel and schmear, but...
Schmear. I'm going, you know what? I hate to say it, I'm going white.
Choose where you want to eat. A school cafeteria, a playground.
Yes, I want to, as a 30-some-year-old man, to go to a school cafeteria and enjoy my lunch.
And I got Kelly Kapowski.
Well, now I need to know if you just get whoever you chose at the end.
First, read what your Zach thing says.
Every time we fly on Southwest, they do a barrel roll, like just for no apparent reason. No, just kidding.
I thought we would do a quick BuzzFeed quiz, just because. Let's do the top one. Which Spice Girl are you?
Pick a spice: cumin, paprika, cinnamon, ginger, catnip, and old.
Is catnip a spice? He says after realizing the last one was old.
It's an herb. I got a GIF on mine that says, when I came into my mother's womb, I screamed girl power.
So I always wanted to know which of the four, it's like Sex in the City if they were all, no, it's Sex in the City. But
I like what you're implying there.
Thank you. But I thought we should take this BuzzFeed quiz to see which Golden Girls we are.
Linen, higher waisted pants and sort of a flowy gray blouse. Brandon's enjoying this. Are you impressed by my descriptive abilities?
I was very impressed. I think you're not a clothes sponsor is really helping you out with your descriptions. Who'd you get?
Rose Nyland.
Aw. Rose is no, that's not Betty White's character.
No. And mine was played by Betty White.
Oh, so that is Betty White in your photo that's in front of you. When I said, is that Betty White?
She looked different, and it's also like a low-res picture from the late 90s, or late 80s, early 90s.
The one I'm looking at is like a crisp GIF from NBC of B. Arthur.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Corey from That's Basically the 80s. I wanted to say congratulations to Andrew and Brandon for the 1-year anniversary of the Namely 90s podcast. It's been really awesome getting to meet you guys, work with you, and listen along for the last year. Here's to many more. See you guys. Congrats.
Hey, this is Ray from Not Before Coffee, and I'd just like to wish Andrew and Brandon a fantastic 1-year anniversary. Can't believe you've been going for an entire year already. Time just seems to fly. Again, massive congratulations on that 1 year.
All right. Thanks to Corey from That's Basically the 80s and Ray from Now Before Coffee for
they appreciate the kind words.
Yeah, friends of ours from when we did the specials. So yeah, if you didn't notice, we're also going to be peppering throughout some nice messages friends of the podcast have sent us.
We made a lot of good friends, a lot during the 12 days of Christmas special, which was quite enjoyable, but
and some of them actually took the time to send us some messages, as well as friends from Twitter that we've been cultivating on our online presence at Namely 90s with a 90s in the Twitterverse. Gaz and Dange from the Insanely Dangerous Retro Prod Show tend to circle us in with a lot of their friends and podcasts that they pod lift, I believe was the word. And then Ray does that a lot too. So thank you to Ray. We'll probably thank you again at the end of the episode,
of course.
Everyone. But thank you on Twitter to everyone that has helped us lift the podcast up, and everyone that's been on so far to kind of help us out.
Yeah, we've got a really good social media person, Brandon.
Yeah, and by good, he means I try to post once a day during the week.
I would post once a month because I have no discipline whatsoever.
And that doesn't include the bevy of retweets that I have to deal with.
Yeah.
So speaking of me, let's go to my number 5. This is coming off of the not BuzzFeed quizzes. Another thing we do a lot is you know what? Let's just play it. You'll figure it out as we go.
It's no longer based on sports with the buddies. They have random adventures. So I'm going to ask you to give me the title of so it's Air Buddies is the first one. So it's blank Buddies. Blank Buddies. From now on, the offspring of Buddy and Molly go on an Alaskan adventure.
Cold Buddies.
Yeah, you're not gonna get this one. It's Show Buddies.
Okay.
The next one, the buddies tag along for a field trip to the Space Museum and accidentally walk aboard a rocket ship.
Space Buddies.
There you go.
Yeah.
The buddies team up with Puppy Paws, the son of Santa Paws, to end the melting of a magical icicle threatening Christmas Eve.
Santa Buddies?
There you go.
Yeah, all right. I'm on.
The buddies are in a new adventure when Halloween hits Fernfield.
Ghost Puppies.
Spooky Buddies.
Spooky Buddies. Okay. Well, the fact that I got 2 out of 3 of those means I'm part of the lowest common denominator. So that's good.
So that was from an episode where we talked about Air Bud, and then I proceeded to create a game where Andrew had to figure out what the title of the Air Buddies knockoff, or not knockoff, direct to DVD sequel was called, based off of the description of it.
There was more, but I feel like it just went further downhill from there.
You might hear it a little bit in our next package, which is entitled Quick Games Package. Unless you want to talk a little bit more about the terrible earbuds.
No, I think all that we've needed to say has been said.
Yeah. Let's listen to all the other games that we've played over the past year.
But that brings me to, I have nothing else prepared for this, so I was going to read hit music lyrics from the songs that we had earlier and see if you could tell which song it was.
Okay.
Do you remember the slurry of...
No, I don't remember the names.
Good.
Oh, crap.
I know where I belong and nothing's gonna happen. Yeah. And... the next, because she's so high.
Oh well, yeah, obviously,
yeah,
high above me, or where she's so high.
I think you lost that one because I got to the.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
This one I don't think they'll get.
Challenge accepted.
Scar tissue that I wish you saw. Sarcastic Mr. Know-It-All.
Scar tissue.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely forgot about the fact that it starts with the... Yeah. All right.
That's what we do around here. That's
so
funny.
The subsequent Air Bud movies were direct to video. And I'd like to play a quick game where you guess which sport each title the movie is based on. Before we get any further into it, I wanted to play a quick game with you to see which actors / singers were Mouseketeers. Another softball. Mandy Moore.
Well, if you said it's a softball, I assume yes.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
That is incorrect.
That's a hard ball.
I know. Jerk. I was throwing you off. All right. It all comes down to this.
Oh, boy.
You have, what, 6 correct and 7 correct? No, 6
Man,
correct.
you can't make this up. This is like down to the wire.
Well done. Well done.
Now watch me fail.
Watch me nay. Actress Carrie Russell.
Shit, I don't even know who she is.
Do you need to Google her? Was she Felicity? Wait, that's not the question.
Yes, she was Felicity.
Okay, thank you.
Oh my gosh, the pressure. I'm going to go yes.
You got that right. Ding. Well done.
Yes. I never get any of these things right.
And we're going to play a quick game. Andrew, are you ready for a quick game? We haven't done this in a long time.
Let's do it.
I have 3 questions for you. First, I want you to guess the name of Robert Downey Jr.'s son with Ms. Deborah Falconer. And I'm going to give you a list of 5 California cities, and one of them is the correct answer. Is it Fresno, Malibu, Irvine, Indio, or Torrance?
I'm going Torrance.
Ooh, the correct answer was Indio. Speaking of which, how many days did they date before getting married? And
5.
Ooh, how many guesses do you want? Because that was
not
incorrect.
that many.
42. They dated a full 42 days before getting married.
That's now weeks. I assume that you meant days. It meant like less than a week.
Madonna gives birth to a daughter, first of her 6 children.
Is that the one she adopted from Africa?
No, this is the one she physically gave birth to.
I know.
And
I was confused as how that worked.
I'm going to give you a list of, I believe, 12 names, and you are going to guess the 4 names that make up her actual name. Are you ready?
I'll try.
Okay. We have Cloud, Leon, Lightning, Abba, Lourdes, Ciccone, Madonna, Maria, Louise, Faith.
So 4 of those names make up a name?
Yes.
Lourdes?
Maria. Lourdes Maria. And 2 last names. No cheating. We have Leon, Lightning, Abba, Ciccone, Louise.
I'm going to go Ciccone is one of them.
Yes, that is the 3rd.
Ciccone. Lightning.
You're in the last name section, so Lightning's incorrect.
So what is the complete name, please?
Lourdes Maria Ciccone Leon.
That's horrendous.
I thought that was fun, and you may have noticed I threw in some extra Final Fantasy names that you guessed over her actual name.
You forgot Squall.
Squall is Leon.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
And on the 20th...
by the way, how hopelessly impractical is that gunblade?
I have prepared a game. Do you remember games? We used to play games.
Yeah, I remember games.
This one's called UPN or WB. We have 15 shows today, and you need to guess whether they're on the WB or on UPN. And if you get, let's say, 10 right, I will give you back your trophy that I took from you in the last episode.
Because that channel was on quite a bit at the house. My brother watched some of the shows on there. So it's like, I want to say UPN.
Final answer?
Yes.
You're correct. Ding. I was trying to steer you wrong. So my game is called Trump or Palpatine because I'm a Star Wars fan. And you asked me to do this, so I spent an afternoon collecting
Trump and Palpatine quotes.
Yes, sir. So I practiced. Do you want me to read the lines twice? One in Palpatine's voice, one in Trump's voice. Well, not Trump's voice, but Alec Baldwin doing Trump's voice.
Hey, Andrew and Brandon, it's Jem here from Quirky Gems podcast. So I wanted to send a little voice message to you guys because who doesn't love the 90s, right? I myself grew up in the 90s. It was the best music, though other generations might severely disagree with that. The best clothes. Yeah, let's move on. The best pop culture. I mean, you guys cover it all, right? So for you, I thought that I would do a little bit of a jingle. Okay, feel free to use this if you so wish. And yeah, so here it is. My terrible, stab at an American accent. The Namely 90s podcast. Yeah, And the reason I did that is because it is a year, and what a milestone a year is in the wonderful world of podcasting. I'm sure you'll agree that it's the listeners that are fantastic, downloading and playing every single episode. And of course, you guys, because like I said, who doesn't love the 90s? But yeah, I digress. Have a great time at your milestone podcast episode. I can't wait to listen to the other people's messages, so I don't feel so much like an absolute tit. But yeah, so have a great one from your friend Gem Swallow over here at Quirky Gems Podcast. Bye.
Who's this for again?
Namely 90s.
What's that about then?
About growing up in the 90s.
As if that'll catch on.
Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. It's John, Claire and Gareth from Everyone Dies in Sunderland, another podcast about growing up in the 90s, but in our case, doing it in the northeast of England and mostly in a state of panic. And we are here to congratulate you on your first year in podcasting.
You guys are literally the only other podcast to say that Severus Snape is the baddie in Die Hard, or remember that everyone died in the finale of Dinosaurs. And that vindicates our idiosyncratic approach to true crime podcasting.
We do have a question for you, though.
Do you know what happened to Mr. Turner in Boy Meets World? Someone must know.
It's the biggest true crime mystery of all. Someone should do a podcast.
Who is Mr. Turner? I don't even know who that character is.
So he was the teacher in like season 3, season 4. That was like the cool guy with the leather jacket that rode the motorcycle, and then he takes Sean in when when Sean's dad disappears. And then I think it's at the end of season 4 or season 5. He's in like this horrendous motorcycle accident. And is like in the hospital. Was it
an accident?
Exactly.
And that's the true crime, not true crime, fan fiction podcast that we're going to start.
See, the thing is, you remember I once mentioned that I watched the entirety of Boy Meets World, and just so I could then watch the entirety of Girl Meets World.
He returns.
He returns in Girl Meets World for like 3 episodes, and he was the one that actually got Corey his teaching job at the middle school that Corey's daughter Maya goes to.
So what do you think? Witness protection, testified against the mob, and
then the statute of limitations right now?
Yeah, something like that.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But anyway, what nice messages from our friends over at Quirky Gems and Everyone Dies in Sunderland.
Yeah. Thank you to Gem Swallow of Quirky Gems and John, Gareth, and Claire of Everyone Dies in Sunderland.
I liked her American accent. It wasn't too like offensively Southern, and also we do the British accent every time, and I'm sure it's just awful.
I tried because I don't know Northeastern British dialect that well, so I Googled or I Wikipedia'd how to say no problem, because they sent it a little late, but I was like, no problem, except I said it in what I assumed was their version of saying it, and they're like, no, actually, we say nay bother, but
pretty much the only ones I know of are Cockney, Essex, and Jeremy Clarkson, James May, and Richard Hammond. Those in my mind, those are the 5 different accents of the British.
Oh, and of course English. The Queen.
Of course, yes, very distinguished, very proper. Damn it, I did it again. And it wasn't good.
I don't think I've ever been caught on camera doing that.
But anyway, I do think it's great that you tied in the end of that games package with one of my favorites, or my 4th favorite over this last year, which was the Trump or Palpatine game.
Oh yes,
that was classic.
Oh yes. Sorry, that was your tee up. That was your tee up. My
smooth.
Bad.
Let's run it.
My bad.
I think the overall content and message is similar between the two, but just the way he delivers it and the writing is better.
That's true. All right. Nobody knows the system better than me. Nobody knows the system better than me.
That's Trump. It's gotta be Trump.
That is Trump.
And my favorite thing is that your impression of Trump is horrible, but your impression of Trump of Alec Baldwin doing Trump is actually pretty good.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Well, because I can't. You're fired. No, I can't. I can't do New Yorker. I can't. Yeah, but I can do like bad Trump impersonations. All right. This is a long one. More than 2,000 years ago, a brilliant star shone in the east. Wise man traveled far, far afield. Or more than 2,000 years ago, a brilliant star shone in the east. Wise man traveled far, far afield.
I'm going with Trump on that one.
You're correct. Ding. All right. Moving forward.
This is hilarious. Oh, man.
I will make it legal. Or I will make it legal.
It sounds decidedly Trump. I'm going Trump again.
That is Palpatine.
Ah, dang it. It's just so convincing when you do the Trump thing.
Yeah, I found that the shorter the quotes are, the more it is confusing. How about I am the Senate? Or I am the Senate.
Gosh, he just has he so does not understand how politics work in America that I want to say Trump.
That is also Palpatine.
I should have known that. Okay, well.
All right, so you've missed 3.
We'll check back in after the election, see how we feel about that. So that was one of my favorite games, honestly. And I realize now in retrospect that basically the more ridiculous, like the more poorly set up the sentence was, the more likely it was to be Trump. So that's why the short ones were confusing. But no, on this show, I don't think it's any secret that we really don't like Trump, and we would consider ourselves to be quite liberal. And if you don't like it, you can get the F out. Just to quote My Favorite Murder, which is one of my current favorite podcasts. They always do this bit at the beginning of their live shows where they explain like how true crime and comedy go together. And then they basically say, and Brandon can bleep this, but it basically says, and if you don't like it, we invite you to get the fuck out. It's pretty funny. So, but to tee up our next package, although we have a lot of fun on this podcast, we've also talked about some serious things. And we started this podcast in a tumultuous time, both in the COVID-19 pandemic in May and with some of the, police shootings of black people and the riots or
kneeling someone to death.
Yeah, kneeling people to death, but we decided we should talk about those things in a variety of circumstances. But in any case, I think taking a moment to discuss some of the issues, even though we're just a humble little 90s comedy podcast, is important, as everyone should be taking some time out to discuss the issues. The important thing about all this is that we don't make this about us, but at the same time, us being, myself, non-person of color, white, is how do we actually act rather than just talk about it, and not to serve ourselves, but to serve others. So my question was, I want to know specifically, what can I do? And so I found some resources, and I'd like to kind of cover some of that. There's a good article on Medium that's 75 points where we can help. And I don't want to cover every single one, but I think it's important we talk about those and not lose momentum here, because this is could be a turning point, and we need to utilize this this outrage to make things better. The spirit of the movement isn't to say only Black Lives Matter, but it's about raising awareness and saying we need to do something about this. It has nothing to do with saying other people's lives don't matter. I think people have a hard time understanding that, but that's not what it's about. It's truly about advocating for a group of people who we need to be doing better by. That's ultimately what it comes down to.
I think the best thing I've seen on it, and it's sad to say, this round of protests, but it is because it keeps happening, because nothing does inevitably change. But the best retort I've seen is no lives matter until Black Lives Matter.
Honestly, go do something, go be an activist, go vote in a local election, go, do something with a nonprofit. Just to clarify, she's annoying for saying that crap. And I'm all for not saying crap like that.
Yeah.
But either watch the movie or don't. Like, you just move on.
I know. I just set up a trap for you, and
thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Excellent.
The other thing is, well, one, I just want to say, personally, I'm on the side of the Hong Kong anti-government protesters, just to make a political stance here.
Looking forward to the culmination of this election. I know that our world, regardless of the outcome, is not going to all of a sudden be a better place, but it does feel a bit like a powder keg out there, and the emotions are high, COVID, etc. So kind of looking forward to just ticking the box, so to speak, and moving past that portion of things.
I've worn my we have the facts and we're voting t-shirt for this episode. So
nice. Very good.
Which is also what I wore yesterday when I dropped off my ballot.
Go vote. People are like, they like assume that means something politically, and it may or may not, but it's like, that is literally the foundation of our country. So go vote. What was the pandemic going around back then? I'm sure there was one.
Republicanism.
Oh, burn.
Snap. Although they did just vote for Clinton, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know. Can I just ask, what's with the white people doing the power fist? Do we have to cut that out?
What?
That's a thing now.
Did you just power fist the camera?
No, it's like a thing that like the Republicans are doing now.
Oh, well, because they can't just overtly do the OK sign anymore.
Oh.
Which is a white power symbol, apparently.
Okay, now they do the power fist, which is like the douchiest thing ever. I guess one thing we should address is sending our thoughts to the people of Boulder, Colorado, obviously, with the events there. It's too bad that that's such a commonplace occurrence in this country. Just wanted to take a moment and acknowledge that. Hey, what if like we found a way that this didn't happen anymore? Just a thought. I'm just gonna leave that with you guys. You can decide how you feel about that.
While we're on this deeper train, also to those from the Georgia shootings, and as a half Asian, I have to say, stop the Asian hate crimes, please.
Yeah, please. That'd be great. Our society would thank you. Go on Rocket League and yell at 12-year-olds instead to take out your anger. That's fine.
It finally feels like it might be somewhat of a turning point.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I feel like it's a very small, the conviction of the officer who, which one are we talking? I forget.
Was
which
it
one. Chauvin. Yeah. The conviction of him is like definitely a big positive step. I saw one person who said basically that he didn't get a fair trial, and someone else is like, yeah, neither did George Floyd. And I was like, yeah, that's fair. Because even guilty people shouldn't be killed in the streets. Like, it's just not.
Yes.
Anyway.
No, I absolutely agree.
Craziness. Not saying he was guilty. I'm just saying, even if you are guilty of a crime, you shouldn't expect to be killed unless you're like actually shooting at the police or something, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
Hello, my name is Kevin, and I am the host of the Jury Room podcast. I wanted to take the time to congratulate the Namely 90s podcast on their 1-year anniversary. Give them a round of applause, guys. It's a huge feat. There's a lot of work that goes into every single episode. Make sure you take the time to say, hey, thank you. Also, I want to congratulate them on 50 episodes. Good job, guys. Keep on podcasting, and we'll see you on the next episode.
That was nice. I like how you combined like the social justice stuff with the jury room. That was good. It was good.
Yeah. Plus, it sounded very regal and official, so I thought it would go well with that. Thank you, Kevin from the Jury Room podcast for that. And speaking of putting a lot of work into things, I noticed halfway through listening to that package that I had clicked twice on the record button on my audio, my local file. So if you're noticing any difference in my audio quality right now, that's why.
Oh, No, but I think that was a good package. I'd like to say that everything's better now, but of course it's not. Anyway, all we can do is keep trying to be better and try to be good human beings to each other.
Yeah. Bottom line, our stance is don't be horrible to other people. And if you are currently being horrible to other people, try to not be horrible to other people.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy concept, but, it's hard for exactly 49% of the country to understand, or something like that, or 51 or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. Well, going from our political stances to our professions, this next clip, this is my number 4. We talked about the TV series Cat Dog. It was an animated series on Nickelodeon where a dog and a cat they were born as a Siamese single entity.
I think the term is conjoined now.
Conjoined, excuse me. No,
it's fine. I just
no, I wish I had known that before I started. But we were trying to determine exactly where Cat Dog excretes its
eliminations or wastes.
Thank you. And determined that Cat Dog, one of the spots is a cloaca. So let's take a listen to that.
This is real hard hitting stuff.
They have spots, I think. I haven't seen Cat Dog in a long time, but there are spots on the thing. Maybe one of that's just a huge gaping anus, and we never realized.
Let's assume that. I like how they never addressed that aspect, though. They're like, it's just a cat and a dog. It's fine.
It's now canon. Well, the dog, I believe, coughed up fur balls at one point, which means the digestive tract goes from
my question
one
is,
side
like,
to
do they
the
have
other.
4 kidneys, or do they share 2 kidneys? Or like, do they have 1 liver or 2? Because there's enough abdomen where I feel like you could have 2 sets of organs. So that's a little bit confusing. And like, so the dog can have Tylenol, but the cat can't. So can the dog take Tylenol, but the cat can't, or vice versa? It's very confusing. By the way, never give your pets Tylenol. Dogs really should not have it, but cats definitely can't have it. They will die. What?
So
also, don't use any over-the-counter meds for your pets. It doesn't work.
That's
except Benadryl.
But only if prescribed by a doctor or vet.
Yeah. Same difference. Not really. You forgot to put doctor in air quotes. No, that's me. I am a doctor of animal health and healthcare. I just made that up. I don't know.
Animal health and healthcare. Yeah. So
that's what it says in my certificate or whatever.
So we've solved the mystery. Cat Dog poops out of the bottom spot on its body. That's just actually a large prolapsed anus.
Yeah, well, and like birds just have a vent. So I imagine Cat Dog just has one singular central vent.
And by vent, you mean cloaca?
Yeah. So it's like, how are you supposed to clean that up? I don't know. Did you watch that show?
That was a good time.
Yeah. I like how it came out. It's like, never give your pets over-the-counter meds, except in this situation. It's like, so never is not the right term.
If your cat is conjoined with a dog, don't give it Tylenol.
Well, because you don't know. Yeah.
That was our most popular bit with veterinarians that listen.
Yeah, I guess. I'm a doctor of animal health and healthcare. What the hell? The hell am I even talking about?
So our next package is going to lead into our next. We're going to do something fun, but we, you know what? Let's just take a listen and
go from there.
Yeah, and hear what not veterinarians but poem lovers listen to our show for. Merry Christmas to me and pretend like you're doing it live.
I've got this. Amazon.com was kind enough to wrap this for
it's all
me.
Christmassy.
Yeah, very Christmassy. It says, Merry Christmas. Don't open until recording the December 25th episode from Brandon.
And it also said Jackass at one point, but I don't know why.
I think that's on the card that came inside the package.
Oh, good.
All right, let's see what we got here.
Just remember, we're a 90s nostalgia podcast.
It is a book of poems, A Knight Without Armor, by Jewell.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I love this.
Hey, Andrew, I don't know if you know this, but her hands are small. Do you know?
No.
But they're not yours.
They are not yours.
I have a feeling this is going to be a feature on next year's podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Just a thought. And now, a reading from the Book of Jewell. As a child, I walked with noisy fingers along the hemline of so many meadows back home. Green fabric stretched out, shy earth, shock of sky. I'd sit on logs like pulpits, listen to the sermon of sparrows, and find God in simplicity, there amongst the dandelion and thorn.
Do you like poetry like this? Well, we have Jewell's entire book of poetry here on Namely 90s. Join us at namely90s.com and also at namely90s.com/YouTube to see us.
But now how my belly hollows and aches, craving seed, craving kisses. But craving seed? Really? And sow your golden fields of wheat in my womb. Boy, this chick's super sexed up. I'm just saying.
I mean, she was a horny teen when she wrote those, I think.
Like lanterns with the millions of others, with the mad and the forgotten, and the strong of heart to shine.
What?
It's completely nonsensical.
And now, in memoriam of Dustin Screech Diamond.
Here's the poem. Too many nights. It's been too many nights of being with to now suddenly be without.
Wait, that's the whole poem?
A gay man is sitting in a hotel lobby smoking a cigarette.
That's the whole thing?
That's the whole poem. That seems sort of conceited, honestly. And now, a reading from the Book of Jewell. Forgetful. They are on the table where my altar rests, sharing space with my sacred things, my rocks and reminders of home. Should I fear you? No more than I fear horrible poetry. What?
Why does she always just... She stops... I guess it's a poetic choice, but it's...
It asks a rhetorical question?
Yes.
No?
Thanks, Jewell.
Thanks. Wow.
Yeah.
That is pretty good.
So for those of you that didn't listen to our specials, especially the one that aired on Christmas Day, actually that was the episode with Watching Comics podcast, which we are going to be on this Wednesday or possibly next Wednesday. I haven't exactly figured out that schedule. But I'm pretty sure it's this Wednesday on their episode talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze. They never got their little clip to us in time, and I'll be on it for sure. Andrew is still yet to commit to our recording time because it's an atypical recording time and
it's
date
complicated
for us. Yeah,
we'll see. I would love to be there. I will try my absolute hardest to be there, and
if not, I can bring some notes from you. But yeah, so this segment is dedicated to a new thing that we've done from episode 33 and on after the Christmas specials, and when Andrew started reading them periodically and then weekly, and then we started mixing in Gavin Dange's little thing. But yeah, I got Andrew Jewell's book of poetry for Christmas because it's the 90s.
Truly treasuring. I treasure this item.
So much. I think you said we've gotten through most of the short ones, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, there's some like 2-pagers, and I'm just like, I don't know.
We could always do them as excerpts, but yeah, we need to find out if she did any more poetry books.
The bit may have run its course, but it was very funny during the time that we were doing it.
But to cap the bit running its course, Andrew's written his own special Jewell poem.
Have. Basically, what I did is I just typed like 3-word lines and looked at a thesaurus a lot and ended up with sort of a poem. It's kind of serious.
From the aspect of being a horny teen?
Not exactly. It actually is about the podcast 1-year anniversary in a way. You'll see. It's a bunch of rambling nonsense.
Okay.
I'm a little embarrassed. Okay. And now, well, that's not a reading. Anyway, This poem is entitled Anniversary. A humble beginning, the fleeting ideas of friends. Each day, a cobblestone in the meandering path of life. A seemingly daunting journey truncated by the passage of time. The regularity like that of an antique timepiece. Each week, a chapter in the encyclopedia of existence. Isolation, the cold, dark mistress forced upon each one of us, but of it born an idea, a sense of joy and nostalgia, formed from the ashes, 1 year a milestone for what was once just a thought. And then something about sex, followed by a rhetorical question. Thanks, Jewell.
Thanks, Jewell.
The end.
Wow, that actually started to get to me, and then like every other Jewell poem, it immediately took a turn at the end.
Oh God, I never want to write a poem again.
That was good. Sure, kudos. Wow, you went for something deep. Whereas
that took me. Can I just tell you that took me like 7 minutes to write. I just sat down and typed that crap out.
And you definitely used the thesaurus for that a few times.
Once or twice. Yeah, once or twice.
Wow, that was kudos. Wow. I also wrote a poem, except I was tasked by Andrew to make it out of poems that he's already read on the podcast. So let's take a listen to what I came up with. All right,
let's do it. Here's the poem. Too many nights. It's been too many nights of being with. I'd sit on logs like pulpits, trying to remember the veins behind his eyes. A gay man is sitting in a hotel lobby smoking a cigarette. Now how my belly hollows and aches. I'd like to paint my poems with desert-tongued clay. Simple hands cannot change the fate of humanity. Should I fear you? Wow. That was ridiculous.
Thank you. I think because cutting the Jewell package together was like halfway through doing everything. I was kind of hitting the wall, and then that just really revived me because of how ridiculous it was.
Anyway, speaking of sexed up teen poets, we had another another one of my favorites, my number 3, which was I guess, double entendre relating to
is it?
The new Super Soaker. I assumed you knew that's why I was laughing so hard.
They're calling it the XP100, but it's a remake of the original Super Soaker 100, and it's only $15. So I may have watched a few reviews on it last night.
I see it here.
Yeah. $15. Those things used to be like 40. I know the CPS 2000 was $100. I think mine was probably 50. But those were pretty tough plastic. The original Super Soakers, they're pretty flimsy now.
Yeah, I bet.
But yeah, it's just like
$15. Wow.
They're reducing the amount of water you can carry. Like that. Where's the fun in a squirt gun fight if you have to keep reloading every 5 seconds?
I just say the highlights on Target: air pressurized continuous blast. That's me after eating like a bean burrito.
Oh, jeez.
And then the last point, I'm not going to say anything on this one. I'll just say the words. It says fill, pump, and blast.
Maybe that's why they stopped marketing these tickets.
Fill, pump, and blast.
But it's like
the Super Soaker Mega Squirter. What? Are we talking about a squirt gun?
It's like kids these days don't know the glories of the water guns fights that we had when we were kids, because water pistols aren't the same as a Super Soaker.
Yeah. God, that is the funniest. I mean, the marketing people on that thing. That is.
I think that was all Target.com.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of marketing, we've been joking about it for a year at this point now, but we finally created a Patreon. at namely90s.com / nope, other way around. Patreon.com/namely90s with a 90s. And we're just going to talk about it real quick, just because it's our 1 year anniversary. So we thought, hey, we've been doing this for a year. We finally have a solid, proof of concept. We can do this. We can keep doing this. If you enjoy us, if you want to support us, it's not by any means required. The podcast will always be free, because that's how podcasts work.
Yeah.
Until Apple and Spotify make it a corporate thing. And but we do have some production costs, like monthly hosting and our recording equipment, going back
Red Bulls that I'm not supposed to drink anymore.
Yeah, going back through some of the like January, February episodes, I noticed Andrew's microphone starts clipping halfway through.
Yeah.
Things like that. My editing suite, stuff like that. You can help us supplement our podcast if you'd like, and we have a couple different levels. Namely 90s Faithful is a $5 a month thing to support the show, and it's general support, and we'll shout you out once a month on the podcast. We have a $10 per month level called Jewell's Green Room.
Yes.
Which is
I will write you a poem.
Yes,
personalized.
Andrew will write you a poem if you support us at the $10 per month level. That is a guarantee that he just said. Also, if you pledge to the $10 per month level, actually, no, I'm going to say that for a little bit later. You'll also get a monthly shout out at this level once a month on the podcast, probably with the Namely 90s Faithful, and you get early access to our episodes as soon as they're uploaded. So usually that means you'll get
the night before.
No, usually that means you'll get it the weekend before we drop an episode. But sometimes things happen and you'll get it like a few minutes before it uploads. But yeah, usually you'll have access to it the Sunday before, if not earlier. And then finally, what would be essentially a VIP tier is called the 90s Kids Club. And that's kids with club with a K and kids with a Z, and 90s with an S, a 90S. And this level, you get all the stuff from the previous two levels, plus a weekly shout out on the podcast instead of the monthly. And you'll get a bonus episode of us, most likely recorded while we play Rocket League as like a lo-fi behind the scenes intimate thing. Production on this starts when we actually have someone at that level. So there won't be a backlog of this until we get someone at the $30 per month level. But and on top of all this, the first 50 people to sign up for our Patreon will be guaranteed our Namely 90s custom Pog set. This is this is a 6 Pog thing. We've gone back in time and found a place in Nevada called custompogs.com.
Custompogs.com.
That makes Pogs. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, do you remember Pogs?
That's the first time I'm hearing about this. That's amazing.
Yeah, and originally
I might have to join.
My plan was to have one for you to open up at the beginning or during this episode, but I fell behind in time. But we're working with them, and they will be sent out as soon as they're fulfilled. Most likely by the end of this month, which is fine because we don't have. Do you have a horse?
No, that's my studio. You can pay for my he shed by joining our Patreon, so I don't have to sit in this sketchy office with people who can't shut doors quietly.
Exactly. The Patreon, everything goes to funding the show, and once, if that ever gets filled, which who knows if it will or not, it will then go to supplementing our income, so we could be podcasters full time if we wanted to. But at the very least, we appreciate anyone that feels like they would like to support us in our podcasting endeavors. Oh, and also based off of, I think it was the VHS Strikes Back.
British folks.
They had a Patreon tier. Like they had like 2 like high Patreon tiers that no one would ever subscribe to. But it just takes one. It just takes one tier. So here is the 2 long shot tiers just for fun.
Premium.
Yes. We have spots for 3 patrons at the We're Not Worthy tier. And this is $1,000 per month. If you want to have creative direction over an episode, a monthly episode of the podcast, this is the tier for you. Each month you dictate what we talk about in one of the episodes, as long as it stays within the bounds of the 90s. If you want us to watch some wrestling, sure, why not? If you want us to talk about Polly Pocket for a half hour, it is your decision and your money. We will take it.
Now that's per month, but can you pay for 1 month, be a creative director for a month, and then drop off?
Absolutely. You could do that and then drop down to a lower level. I will have my Adobe Suite funded for a year. You will have a portion of your she shed paid for. And it's you don't have to continue with you could drop down to a lower level. But yeah, that is at your leisure if you're interested.
I like it. And then there's the big kahuna.
Yes. The tier is called Let's Party Like It's 1999. This is $10,000 per month.
One time.
Most likely. You want to party with us? Yeah, okay, we can do that. Fly us out to Vegas for a night and let's party. And this is exactly ripping straight off of the VHS Strikes Back.
Perfect.
You'll be an honorary member of the weekly Patreon. Thank you for Life Club, and we'll even try to record an episode with you.
Ooh, we can record the episode live in Vegas, but not live because it's a podcast.
My thoughts exactly. Yes,
we'll just go down to the floor of the Bellagio with our microphones and just do it right. Just set up a folding table.
I have the equipment for that, especially if we have if someone subscribes to us for that level, I can buy 2 more lav mics and we can get that done.
It is my life's mission to get someone to pay for that.
So
how fun would that be?
That would be awesome.
Pending background check, by the way.
Yes, pending background check.
And COVID vaccine status.
Obviously you have to work it out with our schedules. I almost said work schedules, like Andrew's work schedule and wife's schedule. If you want her to come, you have to have additional childcare payments.
I think the $10,000 will probably cover it.
You never know.
Anyway,
I feel like if you pay $10,000, we should be covering a lot of the stuff while we're there.
But we'd really appreciate at any level if anyone would patronize us.
We've been joking about a Patreon for a while, but after a year, I think
it's time.
Yeah,
like a lot of these podcasts, they come on their first episode, they have ads, and it's like no one's going to click or listen to or go to your ad. Like, it's just not a thing.
I mean, as you know, we are independent podcasters. If we have an ad or a promo in our show, it's definitely someone that we know. We've never played an ad on the show unless you listen to it through some service that splices it in. That True. We're unaware of. Actually, if you are doing that, tell us, and we'll tell you to use a different platform to listen to us.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is definitely patreon.com/namely90s.
Awesome.
And but if you don't like our Patreon idea, let's take a listen to this message from Steampunk Link of SNEScapades, or SNEScapades.
SNEScapades.
He calls it SNES. Yeah, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Hello, everyone. This is Steampunk Link, one of the hosts of the SNEScapades podcast, a chronological journey through the North American Super Nintendo library. We also take breaks every time we hit a new month in the timeline to talk about what was going on that month in actual history. As the SNES lifespan is confined to the 90s, I feel a kind of kinship with other 90s podcasts. And though I just came to this one recently, I have really been liking what I'm hearing, really enjoying it. Great show, and I really wanted to congratulate Andrew and Brandon on a year of podcasts. Big milestone, and here is to however many more of those years it will take to completely cover the 90s. However, I'm also here to put forth a bold new business proposition for you guys. And to all of our fellow 90s podcasters out there. There are a lot of us. And I say, we all team up and build our own city where it will always be the 90s. Now, hear me out. An arcade machine in every convenience store. A comic book rack in every pharmacy. And not a single grocery store without one of those capsule machines that dispense the stretchy, sticky hands for 25 cents. All of your favorite old brands are back. KB Toys, back. Sam Goody, you know it. B. Dalton Booksellers, yeah, there's one right down the street. Televised POG tournaments on standard definition television, a mom and pop VHS rental store, roller rinks, Discovery Zone, payphones, a Nickelodeon branded GAC geyser in Town Square. All the homes are painted neon colors and the streets are Dixie Cup Jazz patterned. I've experienced the future, and it is the past. It tastes like the cranberries, and it smells like Teen Spirit. Anyway, the Kickstarter for this is probably going to have to be really big. We also may need to break a few federal laws to pull this off. I'm not actually sure. But hey, let me know if you're interested, and keep up the good work.
I like the idea. I feel like if this isn't already a thing, we should have a 90s con or like a 90s podcast con.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely a 90s podcast con.
Because there are a lot of them. That's true. And that could be a thing.
On our 2-year episode or 2-year podcast anniversary, we'll launch Namely Networks, all 90s retro podcast. Well, actually, no, I think there's already something called Retro Networks out there, and I know that because we have someone that congratulated us on our anniversary.
I think there's more to be had. Certainly, the 90s. Although we talk a lot about pop culture, movies, that kind of thing. There's so many like subsets that you can go into. I want to do a 90s true crime, but that's just me.
The arcade machine in every convenience store sounds amazing. I miss those.
Which diner would we have? Would we have the one from Saved by the Bell? Would we have the Peach Pit? How would you decide which 90s diner to have?
Rotating diner, I would say.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Actually, it's funny you mentioned that because there, I think it was 2 years ago. There was the Save by the Max had a pop up in LA, and then they rotate the cities that they're in.
And they did that pop up Friends Central Perk shop. We'd have to have a Central Perk. Come on.
I think the Peach Pit has a pop up. Yeah, I honestly I like this idea. It's like the Simpsons Land at Universal Studios. We can just make our own little knockoff 90s theme park.
Yeah, I feel like we need $100 million though, or more.
That'll be the next Patreon tier for us.
Or $100 million. We build 90s land for you.
Yeah, we could Kickstarter this. We'll need to work with SNEScapades. I never called it SNES or NES when I was a kid. I would always say the acronym. Me, I was weird about stuff like that. AIM, AOL. But yeah, Steampunk Link, thank you for that amazing idea. We need to get together and collab on either some Super Nintendo games or on creating 90s Land.
Or join our network. There will be benefits, which we have yet to determine.
Yeah, that's a year
benefits.
from I think Andrew's offering himself to you. So for Brandon's number 3, which is me, I'm Brandon. That's me. My number 3 is from our second episode, which I think was an episode where you forgot to switch to your
I was still on my webcam mic, so it's pretty iffy.
And then but I confused Helen Hunt for Jodie Foster. I think you confused her for Meg Ryan, and then somehow we got to Jamie Lee Curtis. Well, let's just let the clip to tell us.
Yep.
I know it's in no way related, but I always confuse it for Contact with Jodie Foster. And
that was a weird one.
Because I think for some reason in my mind from those years, I think that Helen Hunt is Jodie Foster at times. Like, was it Helen Hunt or Jodie Foster that starred in Mad About You?
They have a similar quality somehow.
Right? But they're like completely different people. I think it's the nose and the blonde hair. But, they do have similar frames. But it's like, I mean, Jodie Foster, iconic for Silence of the Lambs.
Wasn't she in one of those those horror movies other than that one? What was that classic horror movie? All of a sudden, I'm losing my...
I feel like you're thinking of Jamie Curtis.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Jamie Lee Curtis, yeah. But also sometimes you can confuse, like, I don't remember who was in that movie about drunk Santa Claus and whatever. Eddie Murphy gets switched with someone, I want to say Dan Aykroyd, and becomes like a Wall Street person, and then Dan Aykroyd becomes a drunk Santa Claus.
Oh, gosh. I missed that time.
Yeah. And also, like, Helen Hunt, I don't remember her from anything other than Mad About You, which was just a TV series.
You've got Mail, right?
That was Meg Ryan.
God damn. She was in the other one with
that was also Meg Ryan.
No.
Meg Ryan was in both of those movies.
Yeah,
Sleepless in Seattle and You've Got Mail.
Castaway.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But Castaway was from the 2000s.
They're all the same person in my mind. I can't move past it.
I mean, they were the quintessential 90s actress.
But no, I think we should roll into my number 2, which was one of the funniest things I can remember. I was a little bit outraged and appalled, but Brandon has taken to reading lyrics in a spoken word type style in a way. And this one was particularly troubling and hilarious.
Personally, I prefer As I Lay Me Down, but I wanted to read you the lyrics of Damn, I Wish I Was Your Lover.
Sure. Sounds delightful.
Yeah, just to steal another bit from a previous episode. This is Damn, I Wish I Was Your Lover by Sophie B. Hopkins. That old dog has chained you up, all right. Give you everything you need to live inside a twisted cage. Sleep beside an empty rage. I had a dream I was your hero. Damn, I wish I was your lover. I'd rock you till the daylight comes. Made sure you are smiling and warm. I am everything tonight. I'll be your mother. I'll do such things to ease your pain, free your mind, and you won't feel ashamed. Open up on the inside. Gonna fill you up. Gonna make you cry.
Oh my God. Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible.
This monkey can't stand to see you black and blue. I give you something sweet each time you come inside my Jungle Book. Or is it just too good?
What?
Don't say you'll stay, because then you go away. Damn, I wish I was your lover.
Well, the Jungle Book line. That's...
Yeah, and then it repeats the chorus until... Shucks, for me, there is no other... You're the only shoe that fits. I can't imagine I'll grow out of it. Damn. If I was your girl, believe me, I'd turn on the Rolling Stones. We could groove along and feel much better. Guess what? Come, let me in. I could do it forever and ever and ever and ever. Give me an hour to... Okay, I'm going to stop there.
You've got to be kidding me. Why is she talking about being his mom? What the heck? What is that about?
Oh my God. Yeah. It's incestuous.
The Jungle Book. Oh yeah. Wow. That's
something about animals.
Oof, boy.
Yeah.
Some of the, I mean, my gosh, that song.
That was our second lyric reading bit. Previously, I think we did Hanson, Bop.
Yeah, Bop. But I think we did a lot of lyrics over the course of the last year, which we will compile in this package.
Compilate?
Shut up.
And when you get old and start losing your hair, can you tell me who will still care? Can you tell me who will still care? Oh, care. Bop, ba do ba dop, ba do bop, ba do ba dop, ba do bop, ba do ba dop, ba do, yeah.
This sounds like a really bad spoken word or something. Bop.
I mean, if you wanted me to do my Shatner, I can go bop, ba do bop dop. Damn, I wish I was your lover. I'd rock you till the daylight comes. Made sure you are smiling and warm. I am everything tonight. I'll be your mother. I'll do such things to ease your pain, free your mind, and you won't feel ashamed.
You ready for those lyrics?
Absolutely. Hit me.
I'm going to be honest, my Spanish isn't great. So when I dance, they call me Macarena. And the boys, they say, que so buena. They all want me. They can't have. Aren't there men singing this? They can't have me, so they all come and dance beside me, move with me, chant with me, and if you're good, I'll take you home with me.
You say queso buena? Good cheese? What? Does it ever change? Are there verses, or is it just a repeating of the same thing?
Yes. I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave.
Baby.
Oh, the more I get of you, stranger it feels, yeah. And now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the gray. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the gray. As we take you through this monkey rap. DK, Donkey Kong. He's the leader of the bunch. You know him well. He's finally back to kick some tail. His coconut gun can fire in spurts. If he shoots ya, it's gonna hurt. He's bigger, faster, and stronger too. He's the first member of the DK crew. DK, Donkey Kong. DK, Donkey Kong is here.
I'm guessing this is from Donkey Kong?
This is the intro rap to Donkey Kong 64.
Wait, it's called who?
The Sign by Ace of Base. I got a new life. You would hardly recognize me. I'm so glad. How could a person like me care for you? Why do I bother when you're not the one for me? Is enough enough?
I know this song.
I saw the sign.
I didn't know the song.
Literally every time I've brought this song up.
Okay, I didn't recognize it by the name, but now that I'm reading the lyrics, I totally recognize this song.
I saw the sign and it opened up my eyes. I saw the sign, life is demanding without understanding. Nobody calling on the phone, except for the Pope maybe in Rome. And yeah, God is great. Yeah, God is good. And yeah. What if God was one of us? Just a slob like one of us, just a stranger on the bus trying to make his way home.
So I have to say, we know this, I know I talk about it all the time, is songs that are written just for the sake of the rhyme, which is exactly what this song is. So annoying.
Man, what if God was one of us? And it would switch to Donna being like, whoa, Too sexy for my, cause I'm a model, you know what I mean. And I do my little turn on the catwalk. Yeah, on the catwalk. Yeah, on the catwalk. Yeah, I shake my little.
Did they have any normal sounding songs?
I don't think so. I think they're all just
like. Guy's wearing a net shirt.
Terrible.
Oh, and like the deepest V shirt I've ever seen.
Can you type in now after your Google search? Yeah, I shake my little tush on the catwalk. I'm too sexy for my cat. Too sexy for my cat. Poor pussy cat. Don't want nobody, cause baby, it's you. Sha la 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 la. Baby, it's you. Sha la 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 la. Don't leave me all alone. Come on home. And then I have chickenpox vaccine written next.
So I know like older people like to say that like new songs are really shallow lyrics and written really poorly.
Yes.
And it's like 9 writers to write a song that has like one verse, one chorus, and like a total of 18 words. I'm sorry, they said sha-la-la-la-la more than they said anything else. Sha-la-la-la-la. Sha-la-la-la-la.
I don't want anybody else. When I think about you, I touch myself. Oh, I don't want anybody else. When I think about you, I touch myself. I touch myself. I don't want. I touch myself. Anybody else. I touch myself. When I think about you, I touch myself. I touch myself. I don't want. I touch myself. Anybody else. I touch myself. When I think about you, I honestly do. I touch myself. I don't want. I touch myself. Anybody else. I touch myself. When I think about you, I honestly do. I touch myself. I touch myself. I touch myself.
I want to like take that, go back out of context, use I touch myself followed by I honestly do, and just start putting that into the podcast at random intervals.
Hi, I'm Scott.
And I'm Craig.
And we're the hosts of All 90s Action All the Time. And as a fellow 90s nostalgia show, we would like to congratulate you on your first anniversary, as well as keeping the flag flying for all things 90s. Like on your last episode, when you reminded me of the existence of Encino Man. Remember Encino Man, Craig?
Yeah, I guess when Pauly Shore was a thing, right?
That's right. Those 4 years that he was the thing, right? Encino Man to Biodome that time. Dear, Pauly Shore. Anyway, of course, if your listeners are into action, they can always check out our show, the second of season of which starts on May the 26th, where we will be covering the 90s films of Sylvester Stallone. Anyway, keep up the great work, and we hope you have many more anniversaries to come.
What's going on, everyone? This is Julene from It Goes Down in the PM. It's wine o'clock, and I want to break out the champagne and wish my friends Andrew and Brandon from Namely 90s podcast a very happy anniversary and happy birthday, my friends. Congratulations of 1 year of amazing 90s content. Here's to you, bud.
That was spectacular. I never know what to do when people are singing the birthday song to me. Like sit there.
I mean, I first look around and think, are we cleared to sing this? Is it cleared? Is it public domain again?
Yeah.
It is.
Anyway, very nice. Thank you to Scott and Craig and Julene.
Yes.
Appreciate your kind words.
Julene of It Goes Down in the PM and Scott and Craig of All 90s Action All the Time, who they tag us every time they send out a new episode. So I'm excited for their last season was Steven Seagal movies, which is not I'm not really into Steven Seagal, but their new season upcoming season is going to be the 90s movies of Sylvester Stallone. So
one time someone brought an injured seagull to the clinic and we named him Steven Seagal.
That's probably has been done. But yeah, thanks, Julian. Thanks, Scott and Craig. Oh yeah, I guess this is my turn. I was so thrown off by the Steven Seagal comment that it made me think that it made me think of the Dunkaroos, the time that we had the Dunkaroos and it looked like Seagull poop.
Oh yeah, that's what it looked like.
Yes, so let's take a listen to that.
It also contains bioengineered food ingredients, which sounds nice.
Oh. Well, cheers to cancer, my friend.
Yeah, all right. I'm going to open this puppy up here. And
me as well. This is now going to be our... What's the thing where they... ASMR. This is our new ASMR portion. Wow.
Oh, the frosting looks disgusting.
So gross. That does not look...
Oh,
I'm going to take a photo of this and... we're going to post this on our Twitter when the episode comes out. If you'd like to take a look at
that is
what our
horrifying. What is
that? That's definitely spooge if I've ever seen.
I'm not seeing
before.
Any sprinkle.
I see one. Mine has 2 blue dots. One's definitely submerged, and I think there might be a pink one as well.
I'm going to try a cookie first.
Yeah, I guess the cookies look right. I realize that I'm bigger
the
now.
Cookies look a little low rent.
Yeah, but as a kid, actually
cookies aren't bad.
Yeah,
texturally,
they're very sugar cookery.
Texturally, frosting is absolutely horrifying.
I don't remember them tasting like a sugar cookie before.
I'm going in for the frosting.
Ooh, this is so gross. I'm gonna have to take a photo of it.
Well, the frosting tastes right.
Oh, does it?
Looks horrible. It's translucent. Oh, it's melting. Oh no.
Oh, is it because it's been sitting in my house for?
No, mine is in my car.
Mine's not translucent. It's slightly opaque.
Mine's like a yellowy white. God, that was disgusting. But seriously, I don't think leaving it in my car for a month was a great plan either.
You left it in your car for a month.
I don't know, like a lot of heating and cooling cycles
in the summer in Eastern Washington. So that was our first taste test episode. We've done a few over the years. Or not over the years. Wow. Over the episodes. But yeah, the Dunkaroos, every time an old 90s stack gets revived, we would like to try it on the show, pending we can find it. So
lots of mouth noises. Prepare yourself.
Yes. Enjoy the sound of us chewing for 4.5 minutes. Enjoy the sound of my chewing.
Well, there's like a whole thing of YouTube videos of like Asian girls chewing on stuff loudly.
It's called ASMR. This tastes like straight up Betty Crocker frosting.
I think the cookies were more of like a graham flavor.
Yes, I remember. Yes, they did not taste like sugar cookies originally. Yes, and I figured we'd talk about that after we do a Szechuan sauce taste test. And being a crazy fan of Rick and Morty, I bought probably 30 of them from my local McDonald's.
But I also have the obligatory 4 chicken McNuggies.
Yes,
here.
I also have the 4 chicken McNuggies. I hate that we're calling them nuggies.
That's the thing now, okay? People younger than us are calling them that.
But do people younger than us listen to our podcast because they want...
Oh, dear God. Is it really thin?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But it was... I recall it being somewhat thin.
Okay. This has been sitting in my hot office for a while.
It's also hot in my house too, but yeah, it's close to the right consistency.
Oh, good. That's encouraging.
All right,
this looks weird. I gotta be honest.
So it's a hot teriyaki, I think, is what they were going for.
All right. Well, hey, bottoms up.
Cheers. Yeah.
That's weird.
It tastes right, though.
Yeah, it's just like...
Maybe a little thin.
It's like they put a little bit of vinegar into soy sauce, essentially, which is what most Asian sauces are.
Or maybe like I see the vinegar, but also like a mild hot sauce too. There's like an underlying current of heat. So I've had it before. I like it. What do you think about it? Would you?
It's good. I've become sort of like when it comes to sort of Asian type food, I do like kind of the spicier, zestier type, and this is kind of a bland version, but it's good. Szechuan is supposed to be fairly spicy, but I know it wouldn't be like really appealing to the masses. So, would I camp outside for it? No. But it's good. If it was on the menu regularly, I'd probably order it.
So we drove hours upon hours to find 3D Doritos, the new batch. And they're no longer the original flavors, spicy nacho and cool ranch. They're now chili cheese nacho and what is yours? Spicy ranch?
Spicy ranch.
Yeah.
Basically, it looks like a bugle, but in a triangle with a closed end.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they smell right, though. Oh. Wow. Do you remember eating these when they came out?
Oh, yeah. They are just like Dorito bugles.
Yeah. So, I don't know if you can see that. They're not as wide as they were last time.
Yeah, they were more symmetrical last time, and I feel like thinner.
Yeah, they look more like. I think these are more like an isosceles, whereas last time they were more like an equilateral triangle folded into 3D. For all you math nerds out there,
I have bitten the end off, and I'm now eating a bugle, a spicy ranch bugle. Oh my gosh, that is spicy. This is a small moment of joy, which turns into a prolonged moment of joy, which then turns into self-loathing after you've eaten the entire bag.
I'm going to be honest. I like these. They taste better than they originally were. I did not like so I remember I didn't like the nacho cheese version of the 3D Doritos back in the day. I did like the Cool Ranch ones though.
These are good.
Yeah. These are more addicting than they used to be.
Recommend.
We are Janelle and
Rachel from the True North Collective. We're so excited for you. 1 year.
Congratulations on 1 year. Booyah.
It's such a huge accomplishment. That's amazing. You must be so proud. 1 year in for us was like a really cool marker point where we were like, let's keep going, because we weren't sure if we wanted to anymore, and like if we would want to. So like that's super cool. And yeah, so have so much fun as you keep going. You are too legit to quit. 90s overalls.
We got you. Congrats, guys. Yeah. You're great.
And thanks to Janelle and Rachel from the True North Collective. I was on their mashup episode at the beginning of the month for what was it? The Chasing Happiness, I believe the episode was titled.
Yes, an episode I meant to listen to.
There's always time. But yeah, new friends of the show. I'm friends with Janelle in real life and
IRL.
Yeah, IRL. And she also has like a cool YouTube show where she combines The Bachelor, like Are You Afraid of the Dark, and Ghost Hunters International into
all things that naturally meld together.
Yeah. So check out Girl Got Ghosted on YouTube, and the True North Collective. Thank you, Janelle and Rachel.
Yeah, thanks. It's a nice message. We appreciate it.
Yep. And
so now we're rolling into a couple of honorable mentions.
Right.
Mine, which I thought was great, is I think whenever we're talking about like 90s music, I refer to listening to it on Star 101.5 with Kent and Allen in the morning, which is like a long-standing radio show in the Seattle area that I remember listening to, like with my mom in the car all the time.
Same.
Yeah, they're definitely like part of the fabric of my childhood. So Brandon likes to make fun of me because every time he mentions any song from the 90s, I'm like, I remember hearing that on Star 101.5 with Ken Allen in the morning. Anyway, here's the package.
You know, I guess 8 years old, probably Bone Thugs and Harmony wouldn't have been my jam.
Well, I mean, I am well aware we both listened to Star 101.5.
But Ken Allen in the morning. They finally retired, by the way.
Dude, these are like all the songs that I can just like remember listening to in my parents' car on Star 101.5 with Ken Allen in the mornings.
They finally retired. Yes, you brought that up last time. We had this exact. I think you said that literal sentence. That's what they played on the Star 101.5
with Ken Allen in the morning.
Yeah,
every time.
Which neither of them sounded like that.
No, I don't know why.
No new contenders. I'm pretty sure those were all listed last time we did.
Yep, and then I made the classic and always expected reference to Star 101.5 with Kent Allen in the morning. Run around the Hootie and the Blowfish again. I'm listening to Star 101.5. Just I
feel like you said that recently.
Those were the days, man. I'm telling you what. You know, I just don't know the names.
Are you saying you saw it and it opened up your mind?
Well, because we were listening on Star 101.5 and they didn't always say the name of the song after they played it.
That's true.
In the morning. Oh my God, did I say it that much?
Yeah, that's a good minute and 20 seconds.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's perfect.
My honorable mention, on the other hand, is while he intentionally did it, I added Up Dog as one of the bits that I did at the end of an episode, and he did Up Dog, which let's take a listen to. And please subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, YouTube, Updog, Deezer, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and wherever you get your podcasts at. I'm Brandon.
Wait.
Yes.
What's up, dog?
Yes. And I was so excited that I didn't even do the end of it. Like, not much. How about you? But it did become one of our most popular bits. It trended not only on Twitter and Instagram, but also on GrabOn. And
honestly, I don't know why that trended.
Yeah.
But good times.
Well, anytime someone does that, it especially hits well on GrabOn.
Never heard of it, as usual.
Never heard of what?
GrabOn?
Are you sure? You haven't heard of it before?
No. Oh, is this another one of those jokes?
Damn it.
What's GrabOn?
Grab on these nuts.
No, I never heard that one before. That's pretty good. Trend it. Boom.
Yeah.
Tweet it.
But so that's another example of Andrew winning. So we should come back to we're going to fit in a really quick game. I know this is designed as a long episode, but it is also long. We're going to do
what she said.
Does Andrew remember the theme song of these classic 90s television shows that we watched as kids? There are 6 theme songs I'm going to play the first couple seconds of and see if you get it. And
all right.
We can't play the full thing because we'll get copyright striked, et cetera, et cetera. So hopefully you will get these. And I would say a lot of these you have actually seen. So if you get 5 out of 6, I will give you the win.
All right.
Here's the first one. Okay, I'm going to cut it there for podcast listeners, and then I can keep playing if you need more.
Was that from Pete and Pete?
That was from Pete and Pete. Ding. Nice.
Yes.
A show you've seen once. All right. You got
The Adventures of Pete and Pete. Sorry.
Yes. The Adventures of Pete and Pete. You're correct.
Ding.
Here is the next one.
Hey, baby, I hear the blues are calling.
Well, that's clearly Frasier.
There you go.
Ding. Yes.
Also, the dings you're hearing is edited in from Andrew saying ding.
Ding.
Thank you. Now I don't have to go back and find it. Oh, sorry. Here's the third one.
Friends.
Nice.
That's just so easy. That was a gimme. I'm sure there's some hard ones coming up.
That one was a gimme. Well, I guess I should say that out of all of the ones that we're listening to, this one will be the one that we didn't do a Christmas special on. So I can't say that you've ever seen this show.
I don't know. iCarly. I don't know.
iCarly was from the 2000s, but thank you for playing. I will give you one hint. We did watch a show for the specials that this actor or actress also appeared in as the lead.
I have no idea.
This is from Clarissa Explains It All.
Okay, I think I probably have seen that a long time ago.
It's classic Nickelodeon kids show from the early 90s. And number 5, you can't get any more wrong from here.
Oh boy.
Can you get it from
Rugrats?
Yes. Ding.
Oh yeah, I mean, I knew. I watched that.
You
show.
got it from the drum roll. That was impressive. Yeah. And this last one's a gimme as well. So, do you want to guess what it is before even trying?
ER.
Ooh, so close, but
darn. Oh, of course, the X-File. You had to do that one.
Yeah. To be fair,
I can't believe ER didn't make its way in there, man.
Yeah, it should have been ER. I just. We actually didn't watch an episode of that for any of our specials, so I lied earlier. I'm sorry. But you win. Ding. You get the Namely 90s trophy of whatever we call it now. But yeah, we just wanted to do a quick game just to see, because we're in an audio format and I've been wanting to do something like that for a while. Of course, these are some softballs, so we can get through it and listen to some more congratulations from our friends.
What's up? Rocky Powell here from Wild Nights with Rocky Powell, and I just wanted to wish my home skillets, Brandon and Andrew, a happy 1-year anniversary. Their podcast is da bomb. It's like as if I would ever miss this. From one 90s kid to another, keep going, guys. Can't wait for your next anniversary.
This is Karen from the Retro Network wishing Andrew and Brandon at Namely 90s a happy podiversary. Keep up the awesome work, guys.
Yes, the word podiversary, it's catching on. I'm sure it existed for a long time.
Probably. I don't know why I was so resistant to it previously. But yeah, so these are some... Thank you, Rocky, and thank you, Karen. Rocky from Wild Nights with Rocky Powell, and Karen from the Retro Network.
Yeah, I'm just floored with the amount of responses we got here. The support is amazing.
So Karen, she seems to be a consistent listener these days, and she engages with us on Twitter. So thank you so much for that. And Rocky recently found our show, and she gave us our second review on Apple Podcasts, which was very nice and generous.
So appreciated. Yeah. Anytime you can go do that, it just helps so much.
So thank you both for being awesome listeners. And it's did you notice any of the references Rocky made in her?
I did.
Okay,
I did.
Good. Just making sure. Yes. I mean, I guess "was up" was a bit on the nose, but aside from that, there were also other ones.
But I just have to say the wait is finally over. Woo! We're to my number one. This was from an episode of the
12 Days of Christmas
Specials. We watched Beverly Hills 90210 and the sort of climactic ending with the garbage truck.
I kept thinking, all these lot are dead, even Luke Perry. No one's got a seatbelt on. I was thinking it as he was driving up towards him. I don't know why. I missed the safety. I'm thinking of like the children. You can't do this, but yeah.
What Brandon didn't say. Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Do you not know about this, about American buses, American school buses for children? We don't have seatbelts.
There's no seatbelts.
Oh, in there?
No.
Even now?
Nope.
I think it's a thing now in some areas, but no, it's like, it's really bad.
When we were growing up, you just like, if you hit a bump, you just like fly across the cabin.
Yeah, not smart. But I do think your note here that like the truck probably goes on to careen into like a bus full of underprivileged kids, and they're just like, nah, they don't look pretty enough. We're not going to televise that.
Like the garbage truck is still going at like 40, 50 miles an hour down a one-way road. Yeah.
He's still drinking to this day, that guy.
Yeah.
He's just, it's like in Doctor Who, Captain Jack Harkness becomes immortal because someone wanted him to live once after he died. This truck driver, he gets phased, and he's now phased for the rest of eternity. He's just driving endlessly through the rest of the world until until the world ends. He's just going to keep driving, phasing through people and driving.
I just love that, like, they saw him going the wrong way, and someone was like, hey, you're going the wrong way. Like, oh, wow, effective.
Yeah.
He sure he heard you in his garbage truck.
Good effort.
That's very good. I love that one. I just couldn't get over the fact that, like, why is this garbage truck traveling at like a high rate of speed without stopping to pick up any trash on like a residential surface street? Like, if they're going back to the depot where the trash goes, you would think they'd be on the freeway. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Very, very logical in an episode that one from what they told us from the guys at VHS Strikes Back. We were like, this is atypical of Beverly Hills 90210 episode.
Yeah, it's not like it's not a show about the supernatural or fantasy. It's real, but yet somehow a garbage truck passed through a bus.
Well, it was because they were doing the "It's a Wonderful Life" parody,
right?
Which kept recurring in all of our guest episodes.
Yeah, it was too much. But we've had a lot of guests, and that's why we put together this package of guests on our show.
My husband came home that day and he's like, hey, what movie did you watch? I was like, Peter Pan. He went, oh no, that didn't go the way you wanted, did it? And I'm like, I didn't remember that movie at all.
And the baby was just completely glowing.
He was yellow. Wait,
you mean Jesus wasn't white? Hold on. No, just kidding.
I know. They walked up and I was like, they're not good. They're not making,
they wouldn't.
Oh my god.
Fighting each other, and I just remember the monkey says something like, Ford want eat.
Yeah.
It's just like,
yeah, Ford want eat.
And then I think there's a time travel device where it gets sent back to like Washington crossing the Delaware. That just popped into my head.
Oh my gosh. And it's like one of those things that's so wild that you're like, part of this is their imaginations, but part of this is definitely like, this toy store is creepy.
I wondered if that whole concept of the, getting your card stamped, if that was kind of a new concept at that point, because it felt like the way they described it, that everyone was like, what do you mean your card for what? Now you get, everywhere you go, you get one of those kind of rewards cards, right? Loyalty cards.
So they could track you through your email.
100%. Now they know how many coffees I buy in a day.
Yes, I'm the host of a very special podcast. My gal pal, Kat Halstead, the author, she's actually stuck in traffic right now. She's supposed to get here. She just sent a hot text, and she said there's been a really long red light in front of the Applebee's. You know that intersection, right?
Yeah. Is it long enough that she can get an order of bonus wings for us?
We can find out. What do you want as like a sauce? Like Chipotle?
I like the Chipotle is good.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a tangy, spicy chicken thing.
I'm pretty sure all they're doing is reheating those like frozen TGI Fridays appetizers and selling them at Applebee's. It's pretty. Everything's just frozen.
I once in a pub trivia event, we had a photo round. It was 5 live action Superman, 5 live action Batman, except at the time there were only 4. So the 5th one was Lego Batman. You had to name all the actors, and we were the only team that got it 100% correct, and it was only because of me. No one else were. Yeah.
You know what? That's amazing, and I really hope that you use that to impress people at cocktail parties, because you should.
I throw it out all the time, especially when I'm trying to get on another pub trivia team, because that was like my first pub trivia experience.
5 for 5 on Batman, guys. Come on, you need this.
Batman and Superman.
Like, a lot of people said, "Oh," and then turned away suddenly. Yeah, I think it's a little bit different. Like, it's a little bit different than, there's a lot of true crime right now, but I think from the perspective of trying to analyze stuff about that's really, I think, a different take.
Yeah, I love true crime. I've been obsessed with it for a really long time. When I told my dad I was starting a podcast, he was like, "Oh, finally."
I love how, like, they're not necessarily subtle about it, but it's just like the only thing that requires you to see Mr. Hanky is that you have to believe in him. And then that poo comes to life.
Every episode so far, he's like, "I really love the 90s intro," or I think it was ER. He's like, "I love the 90s intro where they're like, look at the camera."
I misspoke. I don't like when they look at the camera. I like when it's just a candid shot of them doing something.
Okay.
But when they look at the camera is when it goes too far. Sorry, I did misspeak on that.
I think that's a hangover from the 80s.
Absolutely.
It's like
I think they
that's
did
true.
that a lot in the 80s as well.
They would hopefully have like their arms crossed and turn towards the camera and smile.
Yeah.
Actually, what was really cool for us in Wyoming was the Discman that you could put in your car that had like the 20-second skip delay. So while you're driving down our bumpy ass roads, it wouldn't skip as much.
And I remember people also, you had the tape that went into your car stereo deck that would play the music. That was sweet.
I had that for 20 years with my car.
They also had a Christmas episode, a Christmas special episode, and I think it was season 2, called Holly.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yes, Holly. Forgotten about that. Yeah, well done.
I'm not a great reader, but it looks like it's spelled holy, Holy. And considering we speak the same language, I'm a little bit surprised that the double consonant doesn't have the same effect. That's really strange. What do you think?
Wow, it is spelled holy, isn't it?
And then I'd kill her character off in various colourful ways because The Sims enable you to do that without feeling really guilty. So I created, I'd shut her in a room, get rid of all the doors, get rid of the dustbin, get rid of the sink, and have a cooker so she could cook loads of meals, but all the plates would then pile up and flies would build up and then she'd get killed by them. And I would, I know, and then I'd put her in the best ones where I'd let her catch on fire.
One time I gave Andrew a quota and I was like, "You are only allowed 5 jokes a day." So use them wisely. You think about if it's worth using one of your jokes. It only lasted for a short while that he would do that, but
was it honor system based, or did he have to have like physical pieces of paper to turn in?
That might have kept it going longer.
Maybe a punch card.
We are the 4 horsemen of the retro apocalypse, leaders and saviors of the wild ride to oblivion and ecstasy. We are here to congratulate our horsemen from across the big wide ocean, Brandon and Andrew. Here's the insane one.
Yes, mahusively, big well done on an entire calendar 365 times around a giant flaming ball of gas. That's gas, by the way, not gas. Super large, big kudos, retro brethren. And here's to your continued success of Brand Drew Mania, your namely 90s show of pod. Lots of love, kisses, and uncomfortable cuddles in public from Gaz and Dange of the insanely dangerous Retro Pod Show. And if you're interested, you can find our particular brand of retro social commentary on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, Amazon, Spreaker, and all other good bookshops. Dange, are we still on the silly socials?
Yeah, that's right. We are indeed. We are on Twitter, and that's at TIDRP Pod Show. On Instagram, we're at totally TIDRP. And also on Facebook, it's just the Insanely Dangerous Retro Pod Show.
Bloody marvellous. Rather than you than me, big boy. Is that all from us?
Yep, that's it. That's it. Good night from us, and here's to another 1 year celebration.
Thank you, Gaz and Dange, and everyone that has been on our podcast. The 12 Days of Christmas specials were really awesome. It was really tough to do. It was hard to organize, but we did it, and it was a great experience.
It was a lot of fun. So,
and I feel like I skipped. Did I skip Kathy Kinzora in that clip package?
Yes, you did.
Wow.
Who is like our most professional, no offense, guys, podcasting guest.
Well, she was dialed in. She had like the professional microphone. She was the top of Canada's retro pod or 90s podcasts, and she won some sort of award. She was a journalist before podcasting, and so if you listen to this clip package, she's in it. But we missed that funny bit that you heard from her, that something about, I assume, Beanie Babies, maybe. Oops.
Oh, well, what are you going to do?
Go back and edit it in later for when we post it. Yeah. But yeah, thank you, Gaz and Dange, especially for being the one guest or the one show that we didn't do live recording. Yeah. We've developed the biggest collaboration with because we're the four, what do they call us? The four horsemen of the retro apocalypse, and they've done a lot of like pod lifting for us on Twitter, and
it's been amazing.
And we have like a cross collab every month where they tease some headlines that's going on in the UK and follow up on that on their show. And coming up in the future, after they're back for season 2, we will be doing like a little panel quiz show for them on their Insanely Dangerous Retro Pod show. So
awesome.
Yeah. Finally, my number one is also from the guests. It was that moment. The entirety of the Xena episode was just so absurd. But
completely.
Yeah. They not only shoehorned in A Christmas Carol's origin story, the origin story of Santa Claus, and the baby Jeeves. It all just came together. But I think the most insane part was a toy unicorn. Let's take a listen. I think the Santa origins eventually got to me. I was like, ugh, I can't believe you're doing this.
Sickening.
It was so, like, it made my teeth hurt.
Well, like, why? So I get they were like gradually turning him into Santa, which is always what they do. But then, like, they just never explained why all of a sudden he was in a red velvet suit.
No, they did. It's Gabriella's idea. She was like, or maybe it was his idea, but it was when they were talking, and he was like, I don't want them to recognize me when I'm out there. And she's like, I have an idea for that.
Yeah, but okay, she says, I have an idea, and she puts a robe on him, and I was like, oh, okay, we're just doing robed Santa and I thought the beard was the thing that she had thought of. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, however, will we get in? And I was like, oh, I wonder, they go down the chimney. Like, it was very forced. And then he comes out the chimney and he's just in this velvet red suit, and I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
There's just nothing worse than watching someone inevitably gradually turning into Santa. It's just so bad.
Yeah, it has to be fast, like in the Santa Claus. Andrew, for reference, this is the point that I wrote down. I hate this so much in my notes. Okay, maybe I left out the part about the toy unicorn, but the Santa Claus origins were so terrible.
No, that was definitely a really terrible program.
Yeah.
Xena Warrior Princess Christmas special.
Specifically their Christmas special. Like there's a lot of Xena fans out there, and I think they understand how cheesy it was, but it was something for people back then. Now we have Marvel shows. Yeah, so that was our number ones. That was our top 10 list. Anything else you want to say for?
I think we have one more little.
We do,
little
but
clip.
That's our final thing. But anything else to commemorate 1 year of podcasting?
No, I've had a lot of fun. I hope we get to continue doing this, and that we continue producing content that people want to listen to. I mean, that's what it's all about. So, here's to another year or years of the Namely 90s podcast.
Well said. I agree. It's been fun doing this and having some time to carve out some podcasting goodness. And I think we're funnier than we give ourselves credit for, even though we laugh at a lot of our own jokes.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do? There's two of us. There's only two of us.
Yeah, but we appreciate all of the people that have tuned in to an episode or all the episodes. And if you are finding this in the future and going backwards, thank you for doing that. And thank you to all the fans and listeners and people that have put up with us for this first year. In particular, thank you to this next person for putting up with us.
Happy anniversary, you guys. 1 year podcasting together. That's awesome. I'm so proud that you guys started a year ago, plugging away an episode at a time. That's fantastic. I know it gives me a taste of nostalgia and breaks up the boredom of folding all of Andrew's socks and underwear, so I appreciate it. And I know a lot of other people like to listen to it too. So congratulations and keep at it.
Oh, that's nice.
That was Andrew's wife, Kayla, congratulating us on 1 year. And
yeah, which was implied permission for us to keep doing this every week. Yes.
So that's commitment for next recording session for Watching Comics podcast. Now, that's it for our 1 year anniversary extravaganza here at Namely 90s. Remember, you can find new episodes out every Monday. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Namely 90s with a 90s, or find our personal accounts at bschwitty and at Namely Andrew, and tell us what you want us to talk about on future episodes. Please consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com/namely90s with a 90s. And you can also contact us through our website, namely90s.com. Please subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, 90s, Deezer, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and wherever you get your podcasts at. I'm Brandon, that's Andrew, and we will catch you next time.